The last video in this series went rather hard on the cultural subversion side of things, and I would like to go a little deeper on that right here, as some people seem to be unaware of Antonio Gramsci and the cultural Marxism at the roots of the downfall of Western entertainment. Gramsci, for those of you unaware, is the father of modern wokery. Every time you see someone talk about how thank Gramsci. I will not go too far into a history lesson here, as to fully explain this Neapolitan politico and his ideas would require a video roughly 3.5 hours long, and would involve leapfrogging along a chain of other people who took Gramsci's philosophy and added or removed their own homegrown collectivism until we received the modern intersectional Marxism that pervades corporations, politics, and entertainment today. But the long and short of Gramscian corruption is that you need to hyper-politicize everything to push the Overton window further towards a socialist outcome, because that glorious workers' revolution is not going to start itself. So, with that girthy aside firmly planted in the rearview mirror, this relates to the subject at hand: how? Well, disembodied voices in my head, indicative of early onset schizophrenia, gatekeeping is the cure for this. It is in part why Gamergate was the wokest 9/11. It was the first time they received any kind of unified pushback. It was the first time when the fans of a medium as a whole looked them in the eye and said no. Which is why you see these weirdos blame everything from the election of a certain Cheeto-complected meme lord to the beer bug from Winnie the Pooh's backyard on Gamergate. And it is why their attempt to get groups like Sweet Baby Inc. detected, banhammered, or doxxed, and the current flare-up of that conflict, are so funny, as instead of giving these tards the barest shred of legitimacy, as would have happened 10 years ago, these groups banhammered the bejesus out of the journos and cancel pigs and left them seething and coping in the cold. And that is the key. Not giving the SJWs and cancel pigs any legitimacy is one of the best ways to fight this deconstruction of modern mythology, as when these people started all this, words like racist, sexist, and homophobe had weight, and could actually hurt people. But now, when someone hears that someone is a racist, instead of blacklisting them, the first thing most people do is go, yeah, but are they really, though? Most people underestimate how much power the wokists had 10 years ago. Anita Sarkeesian got to lie through her teeth to the UN. The feckin' UN, ladies and gentlemen, while people like Sargon of Akkad and Razorfist and many others were slandered by the MSM as being isms and phobes. Another good tool in your kit if you wish to gatekeep your favorite hobby from the marauding SJW hordes, and this works best if your franchise is not already under siege, is becoming as active as you can in the fanbase. This is hard for a lot of us on the not crazy side of things, as we have to do things like working and living in the real world. But if you do not, then the only people in the fanbase, the company or studio that owns your favorite franchise, will ever hear from is the people who hate your guts. We do not need to threaten people. Lord, we're not Sweet Baby Inc., but people tend to be more likely to listen to those that they know. And if you make it clear that your money spends too, then most companies that still possess common sense will tell the cancel pigs to get lost. This does not mean that you should push politics where it doesn't belong. However, if someone is pushing, do not be afraid to push back. The company may already be doing this. See Helldivers 2, banhammering anyone who requests a cape of political nature, left or right, which is, of course, the right thing to do, as these franchises exist as escapism, and they should continue as such. Before I leave you all for the evening, I would like to clarify something. This is not my final video on this subject, but as my time is limited by my IRL responsibilities, allow me to set the record straight. Gatekeeping is not keeping out people who want to be part of a fan base of a given franchise. It is keeping people who wish to change the franchise to suit themselves and their political proselytizing pursuits from turning your hobby of choice into a ghost town. But that's all I've got for today. Tell me what you think down below. This has been Pete, the Heretical Nerd, signing off.